right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. It's Wednesday, June 2nd, Nick Day. Let's go, Knicks! We got to take this game against the Hawks. Knicks in 7. I'm calling it. Knicks in 7. But you know what? We're not here to talk about the Knicks. We're here to talk about the New York Football Giants. Wanted to have two topics today. Players that are going to have to fill multiple roles for this team, because like I said before, this team is not going to be a team of substitution this year. This team is going to be a team of versatility. And these are going to be players that are going to have to handle multiple roles on the New York Giants football team at multiple times while on the field. And also we want to talk about quickly the June 1st cuts. Oh my God. I keep seeing things on Twitter, and I know I got to stay off Twitter about all the June 1st cuts and all the money the Giants are going to save. If they cut Dixon, that's fine, the punter. They could move a couple on things, but they're not going to clear a ton of cap space. And for all the people that are posting about Nate Solder, stop. The Giants did not renegotiate his contract to cut him June 1st, post June 1st. They didn't do that. Do you know the situation that would put the Giants in if they did that? That would be a slap to the Players Association, the player itself, and the team. No player would then trust the Giants at that point in time to keep their word on anything. So you're not going to waste time restructuring a deal for Nate to cut him post June 1st. If you believe this, you are too dumb to watch, so please turn off YouTube right now. Go watch another channel. Because that's not what happens in sports. That's not the business end of sports. So we'll give you guys a minute so you can turn it off. All right, I'm welcoming everyone back who stayed, who was smart enough to stay and listen to this channel. I want to talk about some players that are going to have to fill multiple roles on the New York Football Giants. These are guys that are going to have to play multiple positions at multiple times for this team. Because like I've said it a million times, this year we are not going to be a team of substitution. We are going to be a team of versatility. First player on the list is going to be an easy one. That's Mr. Ogilari. Mr. Ogilari is going to have to be on the field. I would go unless the linebacker situation in our end situation changes, he's going to have to be on the field a multitude of times. He's going to have to play quite a considerable amount of snaps for a rookie. And the thing is, he is going to have to alternate between defensive end and linebacker. And the best thing about him, and we're hoping it's the best thing about him because we don't know because we haven't even gotten into the mandatory camp, which is, I think, June 8th, the 3-day mandatory. So we'll get a better idea once the veterans come in. We haven't gotten into the training camp. But what he's going to need to do is he's going to have to move into multiple positions on multiple formations. One time he's going to be lined up as a defensive end. I could see him being lined up as an outside linebacker. I could see him being lined up as an inside linebacker. I could even see him over the center standing up in a pass rushing situation as well. He is going to be used as a jackknife, a jack of all trades. He's going to have to be on the field a multitude of times for this to work, and that's going to be the big thing. He's going to have to be on the field because you want offensive coordinators to be like, where the hell is he? Where is he going? Where is he lining up? And that's going to be a big amount of pressure to put on a rookie. But honestly, it's going to have to happen because we're going to need him. And like I said, unless our linebacking situation changes and unless we get a true edge rusher, that's just going to happen. And he's going to have to be on the field quite a bit. Another player that's going to have to play more of a versatile role, and it's going to be an interesting player because he did have an all-pro season or a Pro Bowl season. That's going to be Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is going to have to be on the field more. He was only on the field for maybe 78 to 80% of the snaps when players like Logan Ryan and Peppers and Blake Martinez and other guys were on the field 100% of the time. He's going to have to up that up to 90-something% of the time. And we're going to need, yes, I know he likes to call himself a defensive end, but he is a defensive tackle. He is an interior lineman. But we're going to need him to play the defensive end position. At certain times on third down and pass rushing situations, if he is going to be that true pass rusher and he's going to equal his sack total from last year, he's going to have to fill in on the end position. And I would like to see him moved maybe on the defensive end position on first down as well. Kind of multitude is kind of moving around the field. I think he played most of his snaps. I think almost 80 or 90% of his snaps were in the interior line. But with not having a true pass rushing edge, he is going to have to fill into that position. And I don't know if he can do it because, like I said, he gets most of his pressures from up the middle, which is fine. But we have to hope that he can do that. Another guy that we're going to have to, I would like to see a little bit more of a versatile role is going to be Carter Coughlin. Carter Coughlin, of course, in these 3-day OTAs, and even before that, has been really kind of moved to the linebacker position. At 6'3", 236 pounds, I understand that. He's got the speed. He's got the quickness. He showed some great lateral movement. He showed that was on full display in the Seattle game. But he's going to, in my mind, he's also going to have to fill into that edge position. And only because of the fact, like I said, we don't have a player that can really just man that, 3 downs. So we're going to have to move guys in and out. And the problem is you want to keep, and I've said this a million times, you want to keep guys on the field. You don't want to keep substituting guys. Why don't you want to keep substituting guys? It's a very simple reason because, like I said a million times, and I've seen it in the film room, I've worked with it in the film room. What happens is teams get tons of film on you. They understand your tendencies. They literally chart your tendencies. They literally understand when X player comes in, X amount of percentage of time, he does this. So you need to change. Patrick Graham needs to change it up. So you're going to need to have you're going to need to try to keep 11 guys on the field that are going to be on the field for a multitude of times, not just bringing guys in and out. So you may need guys that are going to play like 80% of the snaps. And Carter Coughlin, in my mind, if he can progress from year 1 to year 2, and that is a big jump asking for a second-year player to do this. But if he can, if he has that ability, I think he needs to fill in that edge position and also hold on into that linebacking position as well. Now, the other players that I think, again, are going to have to fold in multiple roles, and they did it last year, it's going to be the safeties. It's going to be Peppers, McKinney, and Ryan. They not as much as McKinney, because McKinney did play a little bit in the slot last year when he was filling in for Darnay Holmes. But what's going to happen is, like I said, a lot of the times what happened with Logan Ryan and Peppers, they played in the box. They were in the box safeties. They were basically playing quasi-linebackers. And they're going to have to do that again because we need to hope the 7th-round picks from last year and the guys we drafted this year and Reggie Ragland and other people we brought in can fill in those linebacking positions so we can actually have, Logan Ryan and Peppers doing more than just playing in the box safety quasi-linebackers. But I think they're still going to have to do it this year. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how we are, if everyone is healthy, how we're going to fit Peppers, McKinney, and Logan Ryan into that defensive backfield, into the safety position. I think that's going to be extremely interesting. Now we've talked a bunch of times about the defensive side. Offensive side of the ball, you know what? There's going to be another player or two also that's going to have to play multitudes of positions. And one of them, I think, is the guy that I just ranted about, is going to be Nate Solder. You are hoping that Matt from Connecticut takes over at the right tackle position. You hope that Andrew Thomas fulfills his promise in the left tackle position. But if not, you need a guy that can swing between those tackles. And that's going to be Nate. Nate's not going anywhere. Nate is an insurance policy. I think the Giants, hold on, we got someone calling us here. We're going to decline that. We're going to decline that call. I hate when people call when I'm in the middle of the thing. Actually, I forgot to turn off the phone. But he is going to need to swing between those two positions, those two sides of the line, because of the fact that we're not sure exactly what we're going to get yet. And early on the season, you never know as well. But I think Nate can fulfill a spot starter and fulfill that role for both the left and right tackle position. I know he's more of a left tackle and he hasn't played right tackle. I don't remember, whatever. I also think he could fill into the guard position if we really needed him to. I honestly think he'd be a better interior lineman on this team. But you know what? But we do need him at the tackle position because I'm not saying we have we do have question marks on the line. We do have question marks. Let's be honest. We got question marks on the line, and hopefully those question marks are going to be answered in camp, and we're going to get more of an understanding and an idea how this is going to work. But we still have question marks. Another offensive player that I was thinking about that probably is going to have to play a multitude of roles is someone that people are going to be like, oh my God, you're going to rely on him? Yeah, it's going to be our old pal Evan Ingram. Evan, to me, if he's on this team, and I do think he will still be on this team, is going to have to be used as a jackknife, like Tony. Tony's going to be used in multiple sets and multiple formations and multiple positions. I think Evan Ingram could be the same thing because I think Evan Ingram, with the outside presence of the smooth sounds of Kenny G, will gain one-on-one coverage. They will be hopefully fixating on a healthy Saquon Barkley, a healthy Kenny G, a renewed Darius Slayton, a healthy Sterling Shepard, which is going to leave mismatches on the field for Daniel Jones. And I think putting Ingram in a old H-back style position, run him out of the backfield, line him up in the slot, put him in the tight end position, hell, even put him on the outside a couple times. I think with his ability to fulfill multiple spots on the field, on the offensive set, he's even an I would say, average NFL blocker now. Like I said, he's not a great NFL blocker. He's an average. And I'm not going to give him below average, but I will say he is an average NFL blocker at this moment in time in his career. So he can even block if needed. But he can fulfill multiple spots on that field and allow Jason Garrett to create mismatches. And I think that's what, like I said, this team needs to be a team of versatility, not substitution this year. And I think that is the direction that we're going. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you could subscribe, if you could ring the bell, you know what it means. Let's go next.